Fahim from the UAE.
You know that if we are praying voluntary prayer, if our parents call us, we have to respond to them, which is very important. So, what about if they are following a strict opinion based on their belief and conviction, which is not true, but in fact of giving evidence, they are not ready to follow. So, if, for example, if they say not to move fingers in tashahud or to wear cap or related to fadail amal such as reading Surah Yasin for dead, if we disobey them, is it considered to be disobeying them?
I've mentioned this before, Fahim Bhai, that not everything that your parents order you to do, that you have to comply with it. And I've said this not to make you rebel against them and start, rejecting whatever they say to you. No, you have to be diplomatic. If your parents ask you to stand for 2 hours and not sit, you're not obliged to obey them. If they ask you to finish the food on your plate when you're full, you're not obliged to obey them, or to eat something you don't like. You're not obliged to obey them. But when I say this, I'm not saying it to encourage you to rebel and to fight and pick up a fight with them. No, they're your parents at the end of the day, and you have to be diplomatic, dutiful, obedient, respectful. So you have to walk a very thin line here. So if they tell you to not abide by the Sunnah, such as moving the finger in Salat or raising the hands, you mentioned wearing the cap. Wearing the cap is not from the Sunnah, so you can obey them in that, because this is not part of the Sunnah at all. If they order you to abandon such Sunnahs, you're not obliged to obey them. But you have to be diplomatic. So if you know that they don't want you to move your finger, don't pray in front of them. Pray in the masjid. If your father is in the masjid and he watches you and he orders you not to move your finger, when you pray next time, pray somewhere away from him. At the end of the day, if you're stuck and you're put in a corner and you can't avoid it, either do it or skip it, you have to weigh the pros and cons. If you think that maybe I skip it for a month in order to build confidence in his heart towards me, in order to make him love me and respect me and acknowledge that I have knowledge in the Quran and the Sunnah, that I'm following the correct path, maybe I should skip it, just in order to have a long-term investment rather than a short-term investment. You have to be wise in deciding according to the consequences what is the best course of action, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best.